Good morning. I'm out for a wander along the banks of the River Mersey this morning, hoping to catch an image of the Mersey Gateway Bridge with Fiddler's Ferry there in the background. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, about half an hour before sunrise, so I'm going to go for a stroll along the banks and try and get a composition set up. So I've come across this composition along the estuary edge, having walked a little way along from the car park. It's low tide. I did check the tide times last night. It was high tide at 11:50 yesterday evening, and it's low tide at 9:20. It's now 5:30 in the morning, so an outgoing tide. So from a safety perspective, all is good. Now then, I've gone for a portrait shot. There is quite a nice reflection of the skeletal remains of the Mersey flat barge, which is just there, and the tower, support tower of the Mersey Gateway Bridge. So I've gone for portrait composition, just beginning to catch a few colours in the sky. So sunrise is actually now, so let's just see if any of those colours pop and see if I can get a shot. So I've taken that image and I'm going to take a landscape composition next, just to compare and contrast, really get a different viewpoint and angle on it. But there is the dreaded curse of the landscape photographer, and that is the low bank of cloud on the horizon. So currently no light popping through. I'm just waiting to see if it is going to emerge through those clouds and see if we can get some light on the scene. Just a bit of history while we are waiting. Those Mersey flat barges, they're double-ended barges used during the late 1700s through into the 19th century and early 20th century. They were to carry textiles, salt, coal from Lancashire and Cheshire down to the busy port in Liverpool. Really bustling trade routes that were in existence at the time, coming up the Mersey, the Manchester Ship Canal, the River Weaver, the Great Sankey Canal. So steeped in history where we are at the minute. When they were decommissioned, these boats were used to help reinforce the estuary shore. So they would sink them off the coast here by the shoreline to help reinforce. Over here, this is Wigg Island. There's a good example, although there are just very, very slim skeletal remains there now. But there's the barge, the Eustace Carry, which is clearly visible at low tide, as is the one here that we've just seen. So a lot of history round and about, and very interesting reading. Okay, so it's now 10 to 6, 20 minutes after sunrise, and I'm still waiting for the light. A bit of harsh reality, I guess, about landscape photography, and that it's not all stunning sunrises and glorious sunsets and perfect conditions. This is what it's like. I'm out this morning. There was hope of a good sunrise. It's not yet materialised, but it's still very good to be out and about, and at least you get to see the reality of what it's like to be out on location in the morning. Behind me you can see the Runcorn Bridge. So I'm hoping to get a shot of the Runcorn Bridge and do a 180-degree turn once the sun actually comes up above that bank of cloud. Get some light on that, hopefully with some nice reflections in the Mersey. Although the tide is going down, as I said, it's low tide at 9:20, so the water level is decreasing, and whether I'll get the full reflections I'm not quite sure. But that's the beauty of coming to locations like this. The tides change, the water levels are always different, the light's always different, so there's always a different composition to look at and to capture and to see. You're never going to get the same photograph or image twice, and that's the benefit of keep returning to locations. So while I'm waiting for the light, I'm going to have a go at a panoramic shot. The bridge span is, I don't know how many meters wide it is, but as you can see, it's a very wide vista that we're trying to capture. I don't want to use the wide angle lens, so I'm going to go for a number of portrait images and stitch those together in Photoshop. Very important when you're doing panoramas to ensure that you get the tripod level, so utilize the bubble on your tripod to make sure that the tripod is level. Anyway, I'll take that shot and we'll see what that one looks like. So as you can see, we have some beautiful early morning golden light. Now the sun's appeared above that bank of cloud that was sat smothering the horizon. So we've got some lovely illumination on the Runcorn Bridge. Well, that's the old name. It's now called the Silver Jubilee Bridge. They did some widening works between 1975 and 77, and following the reopening they renamed it the Silver Jubilee Bridge, but locally we all still call it the Runcorn Bridge. So we've got some lovely light on the Runcorn Bridge. There's some lovely light also over on the church just on the horizon there, and we have a nice bit of cloud as well, which will add some interest to the scene. And what I've gone for is the Mersey swinging round as a leading line, taking you straight up to the bridge. Some lovely light on the bridge and the church, bit of interest in the sky as well, so we'll take that shot and we'll see what that one looks like. Okay, so that's the best of the light this morning. The sun's beginning to rise higher into the sky, and that's probably the last image that I'm going to get this morning. It's the first time I've shot at sunrise from this particular side of the Mersey. I'm at a place called Wigg Island, which is on the south side of the Mersey. I have shot before from the north side, which is Spike Island, which is behind me over there. And that was taken just before lockdown. In fact, it was the last image that I took before lockdown on a beautiful morning, and we got an absolutely glorious sunrise. So I'll just show you the difference and compare and contrast the picture that I got in March at sunrise to the ones that I've got this morning. So it's been a good morning out this morning, and a lovely hour and a half wandering along the estuary of the Mersey down here at Runcorn. Hopefully got a couple of good shots there of both the Mersey Gateway Bridge and its predecessor, the Runcorn Bridge. Been good to scout out compositions from this side of the river as opposed to that side on Spike Island where I've been before. And look at the difference in those images today. So we have the lovely soft golden light this morning compared to the fiery reds that we had back in March. It's the beauty of being out and revisiting locations. You get the different light, you get the different tides, the levels of the water, different compositions from the different sides of the river that you stood on. Really exciting to come to locations like this. Okay, so let me know below in the comments your thoughts and experiences on revisiting locations. That's it for me now. I'm going to head back. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all again next time. Thanks. Bye bye.